Hi, everyone. Today's lesson is going to be on internet basics and just search terms. So we're going to learn all the different little nuances of how to use Google searches or Bing or other search engines that are out there to enable you to find the information that you're looking for on the internet. So I think it's going to be a very useful one. And so again, we're going to cover search engines, which is just a thing on the internet that you would use to find information. And then we're going to talk about how to write specific search terms when you are searching so that you find exactly what you're looking for and you don't get a bunch of extra stuff. So I'll start with a question. Has anyone here recently or even today used Google to search for information on the internet? Anyone? Anyone want to share? Okay. All right. I use the internet and I use Google all of the time. I use Google all the time to be able to do different things, search up information. I'll use it to see if my kid's school is closed. I'll use it to see what time it is in a different country because at my job, I use and work with people all over the world. So oftentimes I'm curious, what time is it? Maybe in India or in Singapore or in China or Thailand or Europe. And so I often use the internet to just ask, hey, what time is it in Switzerland or something like that? So the internet can be very useful to find the information that you're looking for in a very quick manner. Of course, there's a ton of information on the internet. So we're going to talk about how to get through that, weed through that, and find the information that you need so that you can be efficient. I know most of you all probably use your phones to do a lot of searching on the internet to find information, and everything that we talk about here today is actually applicable to what you do on your phone. So on your phone, normally the internet browser you're using is probably going to be Chrome or potentially Safari if you're on an iPhone. Both of those work very much in the same manner. And so a lot of this will sound familiar. Did someone have a question? No? Okay. I thought I heard someone had a question there for a second. All right. So we'll go ahead and get into it. I'm going to open up my web browser. Let me share my screen. All right. You guys should see my screen now. Yep. And I'm just going to go here. So up top here, 1 second. Okay. So up top here at the top of the web browser, so I'm in Chrome again. So this is Chrome, and I know we've talked about this in some previous classes, but this is Chrome down here at the bottom, and then we have Firefox. Most of you are familiar with Chrome. It's the most popular web browser for getting and doing research on the internet. So I'm just going to click on that. I'm just going to open up a window. For me personally, I have a bunch of different accounts. You may not have this. That's okay. It's just asking me to sign into my Google account so it knows who I am. No problem. So it opens up this window right here, and you can see I have a address bar here at the top. And so an address bar is where you can put in a URL or an address to a particular website. And so sometimes when you use the internet, right, you want to find information, but you don't know where to find it. So, for example, let's say you needed to apply for a driver's license, but you don't know the web address where you can apply. You can just Google it or use Bing or another search engine to find it. And so a search engine helps you to find the websites, and Google is the most popular search engine. I'm sure everyone here has heard of it. There are many others, and you can just type in the important words, and the key there is the important words into the search engine in order to find what you're looking for. So, for instance, you all can see my web browser window here. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to just go to Google first. So I'm just going to type in google.com. So now we have two different places where we can search. So up here, where you see google.com, you can see that we have a web address here, google.com. So this is the address bar. And then down here, you have a search bar. You can search in either one of these locations because it's Chrome, Google Chrome. This section up here at the top actually functions as you're doing a Google search also. So it serves dual purposes there. And so up top here, I'm just going to go ahead and type in apply driver's license, Washington State. Because let's say I wanted to apply for a driver's license. I don't know how to do it. I don't know the website. Maybe somebody gave me a form with the website, but I lost it. It doesn't matter, just Google it and let's see what comes up. And so you see that there's a couple different things here at the top. Okay, you got DMV cheat sheets, driver's license. I would look for, and this is actually a really good example. So notice that a lot of different little things come up here and it says, a .com. So we talked about this in a previous lesson. A .com normally means that it is a commercial business, right? So it's a for-profit business. Well, we're not really expecting that in this case because the government issues your driver's license. It's not a for-profit corporation. It is the government. So you wouldn't be expecting a .com website. Okay. So I'm going to keep scrolling down here. You see another one. You see a couple other things, driver's license, guide.com. All of that is extra little stuff. The first real result that you see here is actually www.dol.wa.gov, right? So what does that stand for? Department of Licensing.wa.gov. How do I know that I'm probably at the right website? Because you have that .gov there at the end. So anytime you see .gov, like we discussed in our last lesson, that's going to take you to a government website. So if I click there, and then there you go, pre-apply online, and then it takes you through all the steps that you need to do to apply for your driver's license online. So let's say I do the same search and I add a bunch of words and I say, um, I need to apply for a new driver's license in the state of Washington. So that's a lot more information. Let's see if it gets us to the same place. dol.wa.gov, right? So what did I search the first time? I searched apply driver's license, Washington State, and it got me to dol.wa.gov. The second time I applied, I need to apply for a driver's license in the state of Washington. So I added some extra words. It essentially got me to the same place. And so the main point I want to share there is that when you're Googling, you don't have to add in all the words like you're writing a normal sentence. You can be very brief. This is especially important when you're on your phone and you're searching, because as you all know, when you're typing on your phone, you can hit the wrong button often, the wrong letter, maybe the wrong number, and it can be very frustrating, especially if you're multitasking and you keep like typing the wrong thing. So it's very, very easy to just go to Google and just type in the necessary words, and then you will find exactly what you're looking for. So again, to review, just going to go back to google.com. So again, here to review, there are two sections where you can search. You can search up here or you can search right here. Either way, you are going to get the same exact thing. All right, so that's Google. I want to just show you guys a couple of other search engines just so you know that there's a couple other ones out there. And so Bing is one of them. So let's go to Bing. So it says, ask me anything. I'm going to say, I need a driver's license in Washington State. And it gives me a couple different locations. And then it takes me to www.dol.wa.gov. And it gets me a little bit closer because it even gets me to the renew or replace license plate. So it got me even a little bit closer using Bing. And so Bing is owned and operated primarily by Microsoft. So it's the same exact thing as doing a Google search, no different. It's just using a different computer technology essentially in the background in order to conduct your search. So very similar to Google. And then let's go and do a third one, yahoo.com. This one's a little bit older, not as many people use it as much, but same concepts, right? So right here at the top, you can search the web, and I'm going to just say, let's see, I'm going to say Washington State driver's license. Let's see what it comes up with. So it got me that dmvrecords.us, but here's the second one. Again, we know we're at the right place because we're going to a .gov. So dol.wa.gov, and it gets you right back to the same place. So just a couple of options out there for anyone that's looking for some diversification or to change things up. If you want to play around with them, definitely try bing.com or yahoo.com. But the rest of today's lesson, we're primarily going to be in Google. Okay, so for instance, let's do another quick example. So let's do search terms, President South Korea. So let's say you were doing a research paper and you needed to know who is the president of South Korea. You can just type in the simple words again. You don't need to say who is the president of South Korea. You can just type in President South Korea. Hit search and here you go, Yoon Suk Yeol. And it tells you a little bit of information about him. It tells you when he was born, his parents, grandparents, different offices, his party, etc., etc. So it tells you a bunch of different information there. And that's that. So really easy. Another thing I want to share though, and this is where it gets a little bit fun with Google. So we typed in president of Korea, South Korea. We found a little bit of information. Let's have some fun here. Let's do president, Dominican Republic. That's where my wife is from. So Luis Abinader, right? Too easy, came up really easy, and with some again information about him over here on the right. But let's say you wanted to go further and you wanted to get images of the president of Dominican Republic. So once you do your Google search, these little menus here at the top, these buttons, they pop up. So now you can, if you want to go deeper, you can look at images of the individual that you Googled. You can look for news about that person, recent news. You can look up videos that may include that person or discuss them, shopping, maps, books, flights, and finance. So let's just play around a little bit. Let's click on images. Let's see what we got. And so now we have just a plethora of different images of the president of the Dominican Republic. Okay, really cool. This can really help if you're more of like you learn more from photos and things like that. I use this again all the time myself when I Google things and I'm not sure exactly what it is. I'll look at the images to make sure also that I'm in the right place. Let's see. Also, videos. This can be really cool. If you're looking up a person and you want to see what was the latest videos on them or you want to see the latest news, this is a good place to come and you can watch these videos right here, right? So you have some videos, news, some of the latest news that mentions the person, place, or thing that we are searching. Let's see what there's under shopping. Oh, look at that. For the Dominican Republic, they have some stamps, some different things. Yeah, there's a painting, it looks like, of President Obama signed oil painting from the Dominican Republic. So you got some different things from the DR there that you can do. And if we go to more, what else do we have? Let's look at flights. It didn't quite put in Dominican Republic there. That's okay. One thing to note is, so it took me to somewhere I didn't want to be. So there's these buttons up here. You see this backwards arrow? So if I click that, it's going to take me back to the page where I just came from, right? Because I'm like, oh, I didn't quite want to be here. I want to go back to where I was and click on something else. So I'm going to demonstrate that shortly. And then this is a refresh button where you can reload a page if it, for whatever reason, doesn't load properly. And then I'll demonstrate the forward button in a second. So I'm going to hit back and notice that it goes back to this page where I was doing the shopping. If I hit back one more time, it goes back to news. Notice that it's just backtracking my steps. I'm working backwards here. Images, and then back to my original search. Again, if I want to go back even further, what did I search for that? President of Korea. So these buttons at the top can be really useful if you realize, I went a little bit too far. I want to go back. You can just use that back button right there. So I'm going to go forward a little bit. See, now I'm going forward in my search to just look at some different things there. Let's see. Okay, let's look at maps. So here, it just took us straight to a map of the Dominican Republic. If I zoom out a little bit, I'll get a better sense of where that is, right? So of course, we're up here in, most of us anyway, are probably up here in Washington State. And then all the way down here, out in the ocean from South Florida, here's Florida, you have the Dominican Republic out here. So if you ever want to see exactly where something is, you can just type it in and then click on maps and it's going to take you there. Okay, so let's do a little bit of an exercise. This is going to require you guys to work with me a little bit. So I'm going to just share my screen a little bit, bring over what we want to look at. Okay. All right. So let's fill this out together. And I'm going to go to Google, and you all, or someone here, is going to tell me what to search. All right, so for the first one here, the question is, what is the time in Mogadishu? So using what we just learned about, you don't need to write in all the extra letters and so forth. What should I type in Google to get the answer to that question?
Time in Mogadishu.
Can you say that one more time?
Time in Mogadishu.
Yes, thank you, Miriam. So I'm going to type time in
Mogadishu.
Mogadishu. Did you see what it did? Watch what it does. So as I'm typing, Google is attempting to understand what I'm typing before I type it. So I type time in. So right here, it's already starting to understand. I'm looking for time in a different place, and it's giving me the top places that other people have searched in Google for when they start with time in. So when people type time in Google, they normally go to time in Korea, Czech Republic, Dominican Republic, Japan, etc. So I'm going to say time in and watch what happens as I start to type MOG. It already knows what I want to know. So then at that point, you can continue typing if you like, or I can just move my mouse right there on top of Mogadishu. And voila, it is 5:24 a.m. on Friday morning there. So they are, let's see, 11 hours ahead of us, right? Because it's 6:24 p.m. on the 18th here. It's 5:24 a.m. in Mogadishu, Somalia. Okay, so 5:24. Thank you for your participation, Miriam. Good job.
Thank you.
Someone else help me out with the second one. What is the weather in Bangkok? What do I actually need to type in Google?
You can just type in weather in Bangkok today.
Thank you, Cynthia. Let's give it a try. Weather in Bangkok today. And it's a hot one. I think it's always hot there, from my understanding. Bangkok, Thailand, 94 degrees. And looks like they're got some rain coming this weekend. Okay. Very easy. Right. And so it says you originally searched weather in Bangkok, and then this is what I got. Very easy. Good job. Okay, someone else. How much sugar is in a can of Coke?
Amount of sugar in a can of Coke.
Pastor Zippy. Let's check it out. Thank you for your participation. Amount of sugar in a can of Coke. There you go. There are 39 grams of sugar in a 12-ounce Coca-Cola can. And then it gives some more information about what's going on in their smaller mini cans, etc. I try to be good and drink the mini cans most of the time, to be honest with you, because 39 grams is a lot. But if you drink a normal size one, a 12-ounce Coke, you're going to get 39 grams. So very easy. Thank you, Pastor Zippy, for that. So, oh, and look, I even misspelled it. Look at that. I even misspelled it and it still knew what I wanted. I spelled cane, amount of sugar in a cane of Coke, but it knows what I'm asking for because it's pretty smart. Okay. What is the capital of Uruguay? What do I actually need to type in Google?
Capital of Uruguay.
Let's just be really short. Capital Uruguay.
Uruguay.
2 words. Montevideo. And is the country's capital city and is home to 1.3 million people. Okay. Very easy, right? Anybody else have anything they want to Google real quick? We have 2 more questions here. Question 5 and 6 is left up to the audience. Feel free to unmute or just type it in the chat.
Population of Kenya.
What was it? What of Kenya?
Population.
Population Kenya.
Yes.
53 million. That's a lot.
That's a lot of
That's a lot.
Uh-huh.
And then I'm gonna say depth of the Earth. To really understand Earth, you need to travel 6,400 kilometers beneath our feet. So 3,977 miles to get to the center of Earth. Interesting. I love stuff like this. That'll get you to the deepest, most inner core part of the Earth. Okay, fantastic. So that's very simple.
Most
I know that.
profitable.
What's that?
Most profitable company in the US.
Oh, Google? Yes, they are very. Oh, you want to Google that? Let's try that.
Yes.
Most profitable
Profitable
company US.
in the US.
Apple. Are we
Wow.
surprised?
Nah. A lot of
94.6 billion in
Mhm.
profit earned in 2022. Wow,
Wow.
that's incredible. Apple. Yeah, I can attest to that because we have man, they're very good at getting you once you buy one device, right? They're very good at kind of making you buy all their stuff. You know,
Mhm.
you start with an iPhone and then they say, "Oh, you need to get insurance for your iPhone in case you drop it because the screen might break." So then you pay a monthly fee of like $5 a month, so you have insurance for your $1,000 phone. By the way, it's also doesn't cost $1,000 to make that phone. Not anything close to that. It's designed in America, but they put it together in China.
Mhm.
But you buy an expensive phone, then you pay insurance just in case you break that phone, and then if it breaks, you get the insurance, but you still have to pay 150 bucks to use the insurance to get the new phone. And then anyone here that's probably on Apple probably knows about iCloud, right? So when you take photos on your iPhone, they sell you a service that if you pay $2.99 a month, you can have a certain amount of gigabytes of cloud space that'll back up your phone in case you lose your phone. Then you can get a new phone and then just re-download your phone essentially, and then it's like you never lost your phone. But that's $2.99 a month, and so you think about that. That's just one phone. In our house, we have 4 iPhones, and they all have all of those services. So I can see why they're a very profitable company. And that's just a couple of the things that they do. They also have Apple TV, iPads, they have their laptops and computers, et cetera, et cetera. So very profitable company. Let's do one more. Anybody else have a question they want to just check on real quick? Something you're interested in? I'm going to say recipe for 10-minute dinner. 10-minute meal is perfect for busy weeknights. Got a couple different ones here. Look at this. There's a YouTube somebody made on May 21st. 5 new and delicious 10 minutes. So these are videos. But let's say I wanted, so look at how up here at the top, the menu changed. And let's say I want a kid friendly because I've got my daughter, she comes home from school and oftentimes she's home for maybe an hour. She has homework and she then runs off to dance. But I'm like, I need to feed her like a healthy meal before she runs out of the house. So 10-minute dinner, kid friendly. What do we got here? Healthy 10-minute family meals, clean eating for kids in 10 minutes. I love this. See, the internet is amazing because we all are very busy. We have a lot going on. And maybe you're like, well, I don't eat that type of meal. 10-minute kid-friendly meal, Spanish. Maybe there's a certain cuisine that you like, right? So here you go. You got some that are based on like if you have like a flavor or a taste that you like or that you lean towards, maybe it's like African dishes or Spanish dishes or Thai food. It's so easy to find this stuff on the internet. And maybe you say, well, all I have is chicken. Click on chicken. Mom's Spanish chicken and rice. Okay. A lot of easy stuff, right? And the internet is supposed to make our life more simple. And so we just have to learn how to use it a little bit to find some of the information that we want. A lot of you also probably know about the smart speakers and use those. You can do the same thing on a lot of those smart speakers, right? The Alexa, the Google. You can just say, hey, Alexa, I need a recipe for this. And it's going to essentially do a Google search for you or maybe using some other app, but it's essentially doing the same thing. It's just running a search engine, but it's using your voice for the input instead of you typing letters and words. It's just going to use your voice to do that. Okay. All right. So now, just look at my notes here. So again, these are our search terms right here. So whatever you type, that's your search term. So you may see that on the assessment for those of you interested in taking our Northstar assessments. Again, the curriculums that we use, they are based on the Northstar training system, which most of you should have access to. If you don't, feel free to reach out to me. I'll put my email in the chat right now and you can email me and I can get you one. Com. So there's my email there. So if you don't have access to Northstar, please let me know and I'll get you an account. And on the Northstar, you can actually earn certificates for completing our courses and then taking an assessment to show that you've learned the material. And that's obviously our ultimate goal is that people are learning and then demonstrating what they're learning by taking the assessment and passing with a score of 85 or higher. And so search terms is what we're using here. So that may be something that you see on the assessment at a later date for those of you interested in taking those assessments. Okay. All right, so now we are going to do our own little project. We're going to do this together. For those of you who were in class on Tuesday, I had everyone do this individually, but so that we can stay just chatting with each other here. I'm going to do this with your guys' help. Okay. So let's go ahead and let me stop sharing screen for a second. Okay. Come back. Okay. So let's choose a country. What country do you guys want to do some research on? We've got a couple examples here, or we can just pick a different country and just write one up. Anybody have a country they want to do some research on today?
Thailand.
Ireland?
Thailand.
Thailand.
Yeah.
Thailand. Perfect. Okay. Let's do that. So what country we're going to do? Thailand. Okay. So what is the capital of the country? So we're going to come over here and can someone tell me to find the capital of the country? What should I type?
Picture of Thailand.
Cap capital Thailand. Just keep it short. Notice it's already comes up on the right. I haven't even hit enter yet, but it already came up there on the right, Bangkok. So honestly don't even need to hit enter, but I'm going to go ahead and do it. Just get the official response. Bangkok is the capital. So I'm going to come back over here and I'm going to type Bangkok. Okay. And how about population? Do we need to do, I'll just come here. Do we need to do population? How do we do population? What should we change in our search terms to find the population?
What is the population of the island?
Just population Thailand.
Population Thailand is going to be plenty, I think. Let's try. There we go. 71.6 million people. 71.6 million. Okay. What language or languages do they speak?
Thailand languages.
Hmm.
Thai.
So the sole official language of Thailand is Central Thai, Siamese, a native language in Central, including the Bangkok metropolitan region. Thai Chinese ethnic enclaves in their outer parts, and then they have a couple different names there. So I am going to just come over here and type up some of that. So we'll say Thai. Well, no, what did it call it? Siamese, and then there was others. I'm just going to write and others because I don't know how to write those other ones there. Okay. The next question is, what is some of the popular foods in the country? What should we search? What should be our search terms to find popular foods in Thailand?
Most popular
Thailand
food.
most popular food.
Thailand, most
Most popular
popular.
food.
And again, as I'm typing, notice
Gonna
it
be
already starting to anticipate what I might be asking. So I'm just going to stop typing and I'm going to
rice.
click this right here.
Gonna be rice. Oh,
And there we go. They like soups. They're very big on soup and salad there. This is a great dish right here. Chicken or coconut soup, red curry, Thai style fried noodles, so also known as pad Thai, fried rice. I just had this for dinner yesterday. It was excellent. Fried basil and pork. These all sound amazing. You guys are making me hungry. Okay. Let me go back over here and I'm just going to fill this in. So Tom Yum Goong and or Thumb Tum. Okay. Who's the president or the prime minister?
Island Prime Minister.
Thailand president.
Thailand prime minister. This guy, what's his name here? Let's see. So his name is Shretha Bavisan. Okay. And he was the first. And yeah, so we're good there. And what's the last question here? Who is the most popular singer in the country? What do you guys think about that one?
Most popular singer.
That
Thailand most popular singer.
And we got a couple examples here. Jintara Larp, Waruntorn Peo Neil. Okay, so we got a couple different examples there. And so, yeah, generally that is all you really need to do some good Google searches. Here at the end of class, we're going to do an advanced exercise and we'll see how it goes. For now, let's fill out this here. So this is some of the vocabulary that we talked about today. Okay, so directions. Fill in the blank with a vocabulary word that matches the numbered object in the picture. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different areas here that we can look in. So area 1 right here What is that called? The address bar, the search bar, search term, news, or images?
Search bar.
What is it called? Number one, this one up here.
Search bar.
Search bar.
Search bar.
Not quite.
That's the address bar.
The address bar, exactly. So this is where you could actually type in the google.com, microsoft.com, amazon.com, whatever you want to do. In Google, it does happen to act also, or I'm sorry, in Chrome, it does happen to also act as a search bar, but officially, this is the address bar. Okay. Okay. So let's go now to number 2. So what is number 2 right here? These words, how to vote. What is that? Is that the address bar, the search bar, search
Search bar.
terms, news, or images? So
Search bar.
specifically, we're saying what is this text, right? So the how to vote, what is that? Search bar, search term, news, or images?
Search term.
It's the search term, exactly. So I think number 5 is going to be the one that you guys are answering there. So we'll go with search terms for number 2. How about 3? This one's pretty simple. News, images, search terms, search bar, or address bar.
Yes.
That's the news, of course. Yep. So you can find news on whatever you're searching for. Obviously, number 4. What is that one for?
Images.
Images.
Yes. And then lastly, number 5. What is that one for?
Search bar.
Search bar.
Yes. We got it. Okay. Search bar. Okay. Fantastic. So now I want to go. We have a few extra minutes, and I want to go here now to Maps. Let's see what we have. Okay, so now I want to show you all Google Maps. This is a really great tool that you can use. I use it all the time. Like, let's say that you are at your house and you live in Kent, and you're wondering what is the fastest way to get to the closest pizza shop. So of course you can do it on your phone, but you can also look on Google Maps. So you can go to Google Maps here, and let's say you are here. Well, let's say you're at Todd Beamer School, okay? And you're like, man, where is the closest place to eat? Well, because I clicked on that high school. So again, as you're moving around a map, and this is Google Maps, I can roll my mouse backwards and it zooms out. So I can see more area. Or I can roll my mouse in to zoom in. So of course we know Tacoma's here. Here's the 16 bridge, I-5 going all the way up to Seattle. If I click and hold and just I can kind of move the map and look around and see what's going on. So let's say, let's say I wanted to see how long is it going to take me to get the Snoqualmie Pass, because I want to go skiing this weekend, right? And I'm in Tacoma. So I can just click Tacoma, and then you can just hit directions. And notice that Tacoma's at the bottom, but I'm in Tacoma. So I want to start in Tacoma and end at Snoqualmie Pass. So I can just hit this here, reverse starting point and destination. So Tacoma, Washington now is my starting point. And again, just like in Google, you can just start to type, and my destination is Snoqualmie Pass, Washington. So if I click that, look at that. It gives me a couple different options and routes. And it even shows me that if I take Route 18, right? So Washington 18 and I-90, an hour and 31 minutes is 67 miles. Via I-5, 18 and I-90, also a minute and 30. Or if I just go straight up I-5, hook on to 405 up into Bellevue, and then come down I-90, it's essentially the same amount of time, right? Each one's a little bit different. It's a little longer if you take I-5 to 405 to 90, 78 miles, but it's an hour and 31 minutes. Same amount of time if you take 18, which is this route, right? That goes out through Auburn and then Covington, Maple Valley, etc. Over here, if I zoom in, it's showing me that there's some slow traffic right here currently. Of course, that can probably change. If we zoom in, we can see that, yep, there's some traffic there. So it looks like in one of the cases, it actually has you get off the highway, go around the traffic, and then get back on the highway here. So it's taking you around that traffic. And then you can see that it takes me all the way to Snoqualmie Pass. Okay. So really helpful function. I use this all the time. This weekend, a matter of fact, we had family in town from Florida, and one of the teenagers had never seen snow. So, it was the coldest weekend we've had here in, I think, a decade, they said. And we had family in town, and they're like, take me up to the mountain so I can see the snow. And I was like, okay. And we went up. It was 8 degrees. It felt like -8, I think is what I saw online. But I use this Google function. I use Google Maps to figure out how long was it going to take me to get up there, right? So I figured out how long it was going to take me to get up there, and then I opened up another tab, and then I was like, what's that place that we go to? 'Cause I couldn't quite remember the name of where we go sledding at because there's so much different stuff going on. So then I came to Google again, and I said, sledding Snoqualmie Pass, because I couldn't remember the name of the place. I was like, oh yeah, Hayek Snow Park. So then I went there and I was like, okay, so how do I go sledding? I think I remember that you have to like buy a pass or something. And so again, I came here to this website. This isn't the one. Let me see. So let me look around a little bit. So I looked around. See, you always have to kind of be careful what you click on. Let me just sledding Snoqualmie Pass. All. So there was the snow tubing at Snoqualmie. Yep, that was an option. But I knew that wasn't the one I wanted to go to. I was like, I can't remember it. Then I said, I think it's called Hayek, maybe. Type that in. Let's see what we get. Hayek Snow Park. I was like, okay, that sounds about right. Let me see. And then that took me to this website where I was able to find all the information that I needed. It opens at 8, it closes at dusk. You need a snow park pass. You can get the snow park pass here. It tells me the elevation. I was able to see directions on a map. There's 150 parking spaces. It talked about there's a PDF here on what it all looks like, and it talked about the sledding hill is open and operational. So I had to use Google to make sure because these sledding hills sometimes they're open and then they're not. And so I was able to find that on 111 it was closed, but then on 112 it was still closed, but on 113 it was open. And so we went up one, I think it was the 14th, if I'm not mistaken. So it was the day after it had opened. And so using the internet just allows you to find so much information that it's going to allow you, because can you imagine driving up to the sledding hill and it's closed? That would have been a disaster. And it was closed 2 days before I was looking, but luckily, due to the internet updates, we were able to verify. And this is where we went sledding right here at Hayek Snow Park on that hill right there. And it was fantastic. So a little promo for Seattle snow and sledding if anybody wants to go. All right. So that's it for class today. Does anybody have any questions on anything we talked about, any of the techniques, using different search engines? We touched on using Bing, we touched on using Yahoo, but primarily I know most of you guys are operating in Google. Any questions? No questions?
I do have question.
Yes.
Yeah, I was asking if is that possible to send the link every Tuesday, like every Thursday if you have class, or is that the same link? I can just click on that one and it's getting me through there.
Mm-hmm.
The same.
Yeah, it's the same link every Thursday. And we also send out emails on Monday. Normally, we send out emails from Mission Africa. It'll come from the email address info@missionafrica.us. And that email has the information for that week's class. So what we're going to be teaching. It also talks about, if some reason class might be canceled, like we had last Saturday was canceled because there was another event at Mission Africa. They had their conference there. And so when that email comes out, it will have the Zoom link in it every week, but just know that it's the same link every single week. You will have to register for every single class because that's how we keep attendance, is by having people before they can get into the meeting, they just have to sign in. So that's essentially our attendance sheet so that we know who actually signed up and showed up each week on Thursday, just because we have to report like total numbers and things like that, but we don't report any individual names. We just say, oh, 10 people showed up at class because this is funded by the government. And they just like to know how many people are showing up and learning and stuff like that. So that's the reason for having you guys register each week. Yeah. Does that help? Does that answer your question?
Yeah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. And thank you guys for showing up also. I just want to commend you guys for showing up on Thursdays. I know a lot of you probably worked all day and then you come home and get on the computer for an hour with me. I just want to say I appreciate you guys doing that, taking some time to reinvest in yourself, learn some new skills. As we continue in this program, it will continue to get a little bit tougher, and we're going to be learning things like how to do Excel spreadsheets. We're going to learn about maybe some low-end coding. We're going to learn about different things you could do on your phone to get better. We're going to learn how to use WhatsApp better. So many things that we have planned for this class. We're also going to be talking about, and my wife, Erica, who is part of our company, we are going to be developing and working on getting you all access to a program that allow you all to start learning how to type at home. For those of you who have a computer and would like to type, that's something we're going to be launching in February that we're excited about, because that's one of the essential skills if you're going to move into a office role or a business role. It's essential that you can type without looking at the keyboard, and that just takes time to learn that. So we want to make sure we offer that to everyone, the opportunity to get into a typing class, and that would be on your own time, a couple times a week, starting to learn how to type so that if you want to, increase your employment opportunities and maybe go into a professional type career, you have those skills, and it's just really good to have those. So super excited about the future. Thank you guys for joining. It's 6:53. I'll give you guys back 5 minutes if we don't have any more questions. Have a good evening.
Thank you.
Good
Bye,
evening.
everyone.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you, teacher.
Thank
Bye,
you.
everybody.
See you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye, Ellie.
Thank you. Bye.